Here are 9 faceless YouTube niches that can make you $10,000 per month. So this video is for you if you're someone starting your first channel on YouTube or starting a new channel. You're looking to make $5, $10, $15, $20,000 per month from your channel, and you're someone that has probably less experience than more when starting a channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you 9 hyper profitable faceless YouTube niches. I'm going to share with you the cost to actually produce those videos so you know how much you're getting into. And then also too, I'm going to show you how to find your own untapped niches. I'm Adam Del Duca. I started YouTube in 2016. I've earned hundreds of thousands of dollars just in ad revenue alone from faceless YouTube channels, over 2 mil subs, and I've helped hundreds of people grow and monetize their channel. And here are just a few examples. These are from niches that I've actually helped people organize and pursue. And so I'm going to be walking you through niches that I recommend you jump into if you want to do faceless YouTube. So let's start with niche number 9. All right. So the 9th niche is going to be Vintage USA. So this is a channel, as you can see right here, and it is centered around vintage content. So you can see a lot of these videos, they're basically just using stock footage, and they are videos about creating foods, different experiences from the 50s, the 40s, the 60s, etc. So as you can see here, this channel is making over $11,000 per month right now, and it's generating almost 2 million views per month. And so it's also right now has an RPM of roughly $6.56. So pretty high paying considering the fact that, you know, it is just nostalgia-like content. Now, why would you pursue a niche like this? Would be a really great question to ask. So number one, it's pretty easy to produce these videos because as you can see, it's just stock footage over top of a voiceover and a script, right? There's nothing too complicated to it. There's no third-party footage. There's no animations, no nothing. So pretty easy to produce. It's also evergreen, which means that these videos are going to continue to get views over time because these 25 forgotten poor man meals that no one makes anymore, that video is going to be relevant now. It was relevant 5 months ago, and it's going to be relevant 5 years from now, which means that these videos have the potential to continue to pay over time. Now, the con of this is that you're probably not going to be able to make money from this channel outside of AdSense. But if you're someone that's okay with making 5 figures a month just from ad revenue, then this is a good channel for you. And also you can see here that the cost is relatively low at about $40 per 10 minutes of production. So if you're balling on a budget and you want to make videos that are going to allow you to make this kind of an income without having to spend a ton of money, this is a really good option. Now, obviously, the videos will be predicated on the supply in the market. So some of these videos will have to be longer or shorter depending what's out there. But this is all to say that it is a relatively cost-effective channel to start. But let's move on to the next channel. So the next channel and the next niche is going to be an example channel like Black Justice. So here you can see that there's a lot of political and popular figure drama that's being taken place on this particular channel. So if we just open it up, you're going to see this channel right here. Number one, I just want to highlight some of the stats of it. So right now I'm making almost $30,000 per month, almost, 5.3 million views per month, and it's got a really solid RPM of $5.41. So why I like this channel is because, again, it's pretty easy to produce because it's just drawing in third-party footage. You can also see here that it's centered around popular figures. And the reason why that this is great is because there's always people that are very interested in people like Trump, Jimmy Kimmel, Melania. And so this is actually acting as an attention rod for people to come in and watch these videos. So you don't have to sell yourself in these videos and hope that people are interested in them, because people are already interested in these other public figures, which is why these types of channels are really powerful and really fast to grow because of the general market interest. So if we look at the pros and cons of this channel, you're going to see that the pro is the high intrigue from the public figures we just talked about. The cons is, again, this is probably only going to be primarily monetized through ad revenue. However, as you can see, the ad revenues can be significant. So for the most part, this is not an issue for people. And then the content, though, is time sensitive. So obviously when these incidents take place, you need to turn around the content really fast, which just means that if you want to pursue this niche, you're going to have a robust production team that needs to be in place to really make this happen, or if you're doing it full time. But if you are just doing it as a side hustle alongside your job or your business, unless you have a robust team, quite frankly, this is probably not going to be the niche for you. But don't worry, there's lots of other ones coming up. So the production cost for these videos, roughly $50 per 10 minutes of video. This is what you're looking at to get these made. And as you can see, the videos are only about 20 minutes long, so you're looking at about $100 per video. And just to be clear, you don't have to upload like 1 or 2 videos per day. I usually recommend my students upload 1 video per week. Gives you enough time to plan, gives you enough time to analyze, and doesn't stress you out too much on the production process. Let's move on to niche number 7. So niche number 7 is Health 365. So we're going to open up this channel, and we are going to look at the results of this channel. Another good high income channel. So as you can see right now, the channel is making roughly $25,000 in ad revenue. Again, another very strong RPM of $5.41. So that's money going into your pocket just from ad revenue, which is obviously fantastic. In case you guys are curious, this is actually the tool NextLev that allows me to see these advanced stats. So if you're curious, you can check out that tool. It's a really great one. And so here you can see that these videos are performing relatively well on the whole in terms of the overall viewership of the channel. However, in singularity, not all of them perform super great. Some of these get 1,000 views, some of them get 100,000 views. So what I want to identify around that is that actually one of the cons of this channel that you need to be considerate of is actually the high view variability. Because if you start a channel like this and you think every video is going to do well, that's not going to be the case, right? So what you're doing on this type of channel is you're actually uploading content to see what sticks and then just doubling down on what works the best, understanding that a lot of your videos are not going to actually be profitable, but the ones that are will definitely be, right? So here you can see things like, Brain Doctor, that was popular, Brain Doctor again, that was popular, and you're basically just reiterating based on what's working. Again, you have things like Brain Doctor again and again. So when you find something that works, you can double down on it and basically just understand that you're going to get 80% of your results from 20% of your videos. Now, let's talk about another benefit of this type of channel, which is the fact that it's evergreen. A video about vitamins is going to be relevant 4 months ago, as it will be today, as it will be in 6 months from now. So this is why creating content that's going to be evergreen is going to allow you to run a very easy to manage channel, because you don't have to get on the content production cycle of always uploading content every single day. Now this channel is uploading every day. Again, that's just how they want to run their channel, but you can also just upload videos on a channel like this 1-2 times a week, and you're going to be able to grow over time, right? Now, the other downside of this channel, outside of AdSense being the only way to monetize, because for the most part, especially in a niche like this where you're going to need a lot of credibility to sell something that's health related, and this channel probably won't build that authority itself, you are going to not have a moat on your channel. So what is a moat? Think of a castle and the water around it. A moat is something that stops competitors or entrants from coming in. So the benefit of this type of channel, it's really cost effective to make the videos because, again, it's just basically a picture display and you have an AI avatar that's talking to the script. So it's really not that expensive to produce, whether it's an edit or whether you're editing the videos yourself. However, something to keep in mind is that because these videos are relatively easy to make, they're also relatively easy to copy, which basically means that there's going to be a lot of market entrants over time. The reality is most people, they start a channel, they upload a few videos, and they quit. So there's not as much competition on YouTube as you would suspect. That being said, it is pretty easy to replicate these videos. So if you do start uploading on this type of channel, you do risk a lot of other people trying to copy you as well. So in that, the cost for every 10 minutes of video is going to be roughly $40. So nothing too crazy, to be honest with you. And again, if you are someone that's just starting out, 1 video a week, there you're looking at, let's just say $160 per month. Nothing crazy, but a good way to get started. All right, niche number 6 now. We have Bars and Justice. So let's open up this channel. So as you can see right now, the channel is making roughly $12,000 per month. Again, more than enough money to save up for that extra vacation per year or invest a little bit extra into your retirement. And you can see the channel has a pretty strong RPM of just over $4. So that's all passive just by putting ads on your videos. And you're gonna see here that the videos on this channel, they're performing pretty well. So much above average than a regular channel. As you can see, these videos are getting, a couple thousand, but mainly tens of thousands of views each. And like any other channel, a lot of them are going to be those videos that do average, but you're going to have outliers like this, 2.2 million views. That's pulling up the performance of the channel and really allowing this channel to get a really positive ROI on their efforts. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of this channel. So the pros is that it's very high intrigue. So let's call it like it is, right? Who doesn't want to see videos about people potentially getting sentenced, going to jail? Crime is intriguing, right? And so it's for this reason that this type of channel performs particularly well. Now, the con about this, though, is unfortunately that the content sourcing for footage from things like courts can be rather hard to gather. So if I was pursuing this type of channel, I probably wouldn't be doing the editing myself. So this is why you want to inform your team as to how to go through the process of requesting footage. This can be from courts, this can be from records of courts, and effectively what you're doing is you're getting original footage that you can put together, again, in combination with the court case to tell the story. So again, if you're doing this all yourself, I probably wouldn't recommend you put the videos together in this particular niche. But if you have an editing team that has made these types of videos before, this is something great to pursue. Also, these videos are evergreen. So as you can see here, the story about this woman is going to be relevant 2 weeks ago, and it's also going to be relevant 5 years from now, right? Because the story is not likely to change. Now, the one other thing that's a little bit tricky about this niche, though, is that you're probably going to be primarily relying upon ad revenue. Reason being is because channels like this are not really that enticing for advertisers to promote on, but as you can see with the revenue, you can make a really good amount of income just from ad revenue alone, where you don't need to branch into other things like brand deals, affiliates, and whatnot, and you're looking at about $60 per 10 minutes of video. Let's move on to the next one. So niche number 5, we have streamers. So here you can see the channel Streamflix. So right now, this channel is making roughly $20,000 per month. It's got a really strong RPM of $4.88. And as you can see here, the videos are really amassing a lot of views. So you can see just 6 days ago, this one just got 354,000 views. Very significant. So why do I like a channel like this? Well, let's go over that right now. So the first reason is that the videos are based on popular figures. So there's obviously a lot of people intrigued by Senate Kai Cenat, and then you have people like I Show Speed, and you have people like Mr. Beast and Jake and Logan Paul. And so the reason why a channel like this does well is because there's just so much market demand for these individuals. They're often doing very intriguing things. And so to create a channel like this, which is a compilation channel around those particular people, is just inherently going to be very, very effective for getting views. It's also evergreen. So that basically means that these videos are going to be getting views 6 months ago, they're going to be getting views now, they're going to be getting views into the future. So if you want to build an asset that's going to continue to pay you over time, a channel like this is really, really great. You can also get brand deals on top of the on top of the ad revenue that you're going to be earning from a channel like this, which is really great because if you think about it, this is just a multiplier in your income. So what you do is you would reach out to brands, probably brands that are in the entertainment space, and they'll actually pay you for an integration in your video. So doing a promotion of 30, 60, 90 seconds, they'll pay you, you'll make money either on a flat rate or a variable rate, and you'll also still make your ad revenue, which is how a lot of these channels are scaling up to, again, high 5 figures, sometimes even 6 figures per month. Now the cons is that making a compilation channel like this does require a lot of compilation of footage, obviously given the name. So if you're editing this yourself, finding all the clips is probably going to take a really long time. but that's why I do recommend editing, outsourcing the editing to a team. And you can expect to pay around $70 per 10 minutes. You're going to pay a little bit more in this case just because there is obviously a lot more work that has to be done to put these videos together. Now, niche number 4 is the Navy. So Navy Signal is an example, okay? So these channels are taking off like wildfire right now. If you are watching this video right now and you're thinking about selecting a niche, if you pursue this, this has a really high income potential. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this channel up, and in the meantime, look at those revenue figures right now. Almost $90,000 per month, and you can see this channel just started about a month ago if we take a look at the stats. So here you can see it just started a few months ago. It's been uploading for just over a month. And so you can see here that this channel is generating a significant amount of views. So why is this a good channel? Not only does it have a high RPM, but also it is highly controversial. So if you turn on the news, all you're really gonna see these days are stories about the wars. So not only is it high intrigue, but there's always tons of people in the comments of these videos commenting, driving up engagement, driving up recommendations on the videos. So they're really good videos if you want to really start driving up those recommendations in the YouTube algorithm. Not only that, but you can actually monetize these videos outside of ads. This channel only does ad revenue. However, obviously they're focused on maximizing that income, uploading 1 time per day. But if you want to upload a little bit less, you can always find brand deals to integrate into the channel. Now let's talk about the cons. So the con number 1 is content sourcing. So you're going to have to find footage from these wars that are taking place. You're going to have to find third-party footage here like Donald Trump. And that's effectively going to be a bit of a task to get these videos made, especially in short order. And speaking of that, the other downside is time sensitivity. So you can see here that sometimes events happen and you need to be on those right away. Otherwise, when everyone else makes videos about them, your content is now old, it's stale, and no one's really going to want to watch it. So you need to be cognizant of the fact that if you're doing this alongside your job or business, this type of a channel may be a little bit trickier to run, just given the fact that you have to upload so much to keep up with the news. But if you do have a really robust team, like an A team and a B team, which is I recommend to my students, you can upload videos per day, like 1 or 2, and really not have that much of an issue pumping them out. Whereas obviously if you're doing this yourself, you're gonna have a very hard time because of the volume. All right, and you can expect to pay about $60 per 10 minutes of video. Again, all you're really doing is putting together third-party footage, some stock footage, and then obviously an original voiceover and script, as is always the recommendation. All right, niche number 3, we're almost done here. So number 1, you have quiet historians. So let's open this channel up. Right now the channel's making $18,000 roughly per month. Very strong RPM of $5.74. So if we take a look at this channel, you can see here that it is videos from past history. It's basically just imagery, scrolling and zooming in and out, to be honest, and telling a story that speaks to the imagery. So why I like this type of a channel is for a few reasons. First, cost of production is relatively low. It's just images with a voiceover and a script. It's nothing crazy. The real value is actually in the script itself and the story that's told. So that's key here. Evergreen, right? These videos of the boy Prince who rotted alive, let's just say, that story is going to be relevant 10 days ago when it was released, 6 months from now, 2 years from now. Again, you want to set up digital assets that are going to pay you over time. And this is a channel just like that. Now you have multiple income streams as an option. History channels don't really have that hard of a time getting brand deals and affiliate offers because they are very education based. So things like connecting with Skillshare and Brilliant and these other companies that are really promoting self-education will sponsor your videos and will pay you an additional income on top of the ad revenue you're making from the channel. Now the challenges with this channel though is that there is a lack of a moat. Basically, if you can generate images like this using AI tools, then anyone can effectively copy this content as well. So you just want to consider the fact that if other people can copy it pretty easily, there is going to be a point where the market's going to get saturated and getting more views will be harder. But again, not every channel has to be run forever. That being said, if you are the best at storytelling, then it doesn't matter how many people can make these animation styles or these videos, because your video and the content in them is just naturally going to be better than everyone else. And you can expect to pay roughly $60 per 10 minutes of video on this niche. All right, we got 2 left to go over. So we have the second last niche, and then I'm going to share how to find these niches yourself. So the second last niche is going to be late science. So here you can see that we have a channel right now, 27 videos, 37,000 subscribers. It is growing relatively fast. It's making roughly $15,000 per month just in ad revenue, almost 2 million views per month. And look at this RPM. That's the highest one so far, $8.14 per 1,000 views. That is quite impressive, right? So if we take a look at this channel, you can see that they're making pretty long videos that are generating some pretty decent views, and they're uploading almost 1 video per day here. So obviously there's quite the content system behind this to make that long of a video every single day, but it is possible, especially with the AI tools coming out now, tools like Subscriber for creating your scripts, 11 Labs for your voiceovers, then you just got to edit the video together. So as you can see, the video and the channel in general is making a good sum of money. But why do I like this channel? So again, cost of production is pretty low, roughly $60 per 10 minutes. So it's not going to be anything crazy, and you don't have to compete at making 2-hour videos, just to be clear. You can still find your own gap in the market at shorter videos. They're evergreen, so talking about, the Big Bang or something is going to be relevant back then and now. So that's why you're building, again, videos that are going to pay you over time. It's a high RPM, so you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck when it comes to actually making money with just ad revenue alone. And again, very similar to the history, there are tons of people that want to promote the content on these channels. So getting brand deals that are going to pay you, 500, 1,000, a couple thousand per video once you get to a larger channel is absolutely going to be viable with this type of content. Now the moat is a bit of an issue because, again, while these videos are pretty long, and that is a moat in and of itself, it's a lot of just stock footage. So ultimately someone else can recreate it pretty easily from a production standpoint. But when it comes to the scripting and your own branding, that will differentiate you if you know what you're doing. Now, the cost around $60 per 10 minutes of video. So again, they don't have to be super long, but you do need to produce the videos to get traction. All right, so the last niche, last but not least, is truth. All right, so here we have a philosophy channel. So talk about evergreen content, right? This channel is making roughly $11,000 per month, a very strong RPM of $5.29. And if we open it up, we can take a look, and I'm going to share with you why I think this is a really good niche for people starting out. So the first thing is cost of production. You don't want to blow the bank right away when you're starting. So again, this is going to run you about $40 per 10 minutes of video to be able to create videos like this. So as we scroll over, ideally we'll be able to see some, but maybe not. So we'll open this up and we can take a look at the video right here.
They're always watching, not with open heart.
So as you can see, it's just a really, really well put together voiceover, and it's just going through imagery, right? So again, this is not expensive to make. These are just AI images that are talking to the scenery taking place. And you can see here that the content is evergreen because at the end of the day, how to build generational wealth and their Machiavelli's 21 laws of finance. He's not alive. He ain't going to be changing anything, which means that these videos will not need requirements to update. There's no time sensitivity. So they'll be really good videos to make you an income going forward. Then there is a lack of a moat. I mean, let's just call a spade here. These images are super easy to make, and it's just basically a voiceover with captions. So over time, people will start to enter into this niche, but this is why you want to jump on these niches right now so you can get the most benefit out of them as you're starting out. And then AdSense is probably the only way you're going to monetize this channel. The reality is that they can generate a lot of views, but probably someone is not going to want to promote on this type of channel in the way that it is now around Machiavelli. But if you do pursue a channel that's around philosophy, again, a lot of those educational brands and companies like a Brilliant or a Skillshare, they'll actually promote your content, right? And they will actually pay you for a 30, 60, 90-second integration. So if you're going to pursue this, again, like you're probably paying honestly even less than $40 per 10 minutes. That's just kind of where I'm at with the pricing around this. But again, as you can see, you're paying maybe $60, $80 per video, and the channel is generating a ton of views and a very sizable amount of income. So how do you find these niches? How do you do this all yourself so you never have to watch me again, which if you've made it this far, I'm sure you will. You can use TubeLab. If you want to work with me directly to be able to find your niche, find what works for you, and what's going to align to your income goals, you can just click the link in this video's description or pinned comment. It's going to redirect you to my page and you can just check it out. However, at this point, I'm also noticing that you're probably going to have a good understanding of what niches to pursue because you're here. So let's open up TubeLab, and I just want to show you how you find these niches yourself. So here I am in the back end of TubeLab. So if you want to find niches, go to the niche finder. If you want to find breakout niches that can make you $10,000 or more per month, here's how you do it. You go to filters once you've signed up for TubeLab. Again, $100 roughly for the year, or $20 to $29 for the month, depending on what promos are going on. So you open it, you go to the niche finder, you go to filters. I recommend you try and find niches that are less than 6 months old. If you want to do faceless, which if you're watching this video, you probably do, you can go only show potentially faceless channels. Obviously, we want it to be ad revenue enabled, so monetized. And then we want to put in the revenue estimate of $10,000 per month. And what we're going to see are all the different channels that have started in the last few months that are making over $10,000 per month. So if we scroll through, what we're going to see is a whole bunch of different channels. And so let's go to one that's going to catch our attention. Right now, obviously, sometimes there are like channels around like movie re-uploads and other stuff like that. You obviously want to avoid those. But here's a good example. Please Chase US, right? So we can see here that this channel right now is, number one, getting quite a few views per month. They're regularly uploading. They're getting 18 million views. And we can even go in, and if you're using NextLev, the analytics tool, you can actually select the analytics tab, which is an add-on, and you can start to see some of the data. Obviously, you can see this channel is doing particularly well. So this is how you find niches. This is how people are finding niches very early to be able to capitalize on these potential channel ideas. So just to reiterate, under 6 months is a criteria. You can filter for faceless, ad revenue enabled, and then your revenue target. If you want to make 20, 30, 40, you can see what channels are doing that and then build your own. That's my recommendation for you. But as a friendly reminder, if you want to do this yourself, go ahead. If you want to do this together, click the link in this video's description. We'll connect and we'll be able to work on you and your own faceless YouTube channel.